Thy name is my healing, oh my God, oh my God. Thy name is my healing, thy name is my healing, oh my God, oh my God. And thy mercy me is my healing, in both this world and the world to come, world to come. And love, for thee is my companion. Thy name is my healing, thy name is my healing, oh my God, oh my God. And thy healing to me is my remedy, both this world and the world to come, world to come. And love, for thee is my companion. Now verily art thee all bountiful, the all-knowing, the all-wise. Thou verily art the all-bountiful, the all-knowing, the all-wise. Thy name is my healing, thy name is my healing, oh my God, oh my God. Thy name is my healing, thy name is my healing, oh my God, oh my God.
Okay, welcome everyone. How's everyone? I guess the question, how are you? I thought. Question was brought up, what does it mean to be a Baha'i? So before we do our class for today, if I could ask Lester to please read this statement. I began saying something myself that basically, literally, Baha'i means follower of light, which means someone who continues searching for truth, and becoming one with the Master of the Universe. And it also means then, in that respect, Baha'i is one who follows then Baha'u'llah, who has revealed these 100 volumes of books for mankind for today. So with that, please, if you could read it.
When asked on what occasion, what is Baha'i? Baha'i replied, to be Baha'i simply means to love the world, to love humanity, and to serve it, to work for universal peace and universal brotherhood. On another occasion, he defined Baha'i as one endowed with all the perfection of man in activity. In one of his London talks, he said that man may be a Baha'i even if he has never heard the name of Baha'i. He added, the man who lives life according to the teachings of Baha'i is already Baha'i. On the other hand, a man may call himself Baha'i for 40 years, and if he does not live the life of Baha'i, there are many who bear religious names, Baha'i, Christian, Buddhist, who do not live up to the names. The Bible also confirms this.
Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you are evildoers.
The
Kitab al-Aqdas. This is one of Baha'u'llah's writings.
The same thing.
Thank you. Tells us that the ideal state is that both faith and deeds should go together. However, God's thoughts are not like our thoughts, and He is the ultimate judge of all of us all, excuse me. Therefore, we should be wary of simplistic, categorical, judgmental approaches towards this complex matter. The first duty prescribed by God for His servants is the recognition of Him, who is the dayspring of His revelation and the fountain of His laws, who representeth the Godhead of both the kingdom of His cause and the world of creation. Whoso achieveth this duty hath attained unto all good, and whoso is deprived thereof hath gone astray, though he be the author of every righteous deed. It behooveth everyone who reaches the most sublime station, this summit of transcendent glory, to observe every ordinance of Him who is the desire of the world. These twin duties are inseparable. Neither is acceptable without the other. Thus hath it been decreed by Him who is the source of divine inspiration.
In the final analysis, being a Baha'i means accepting Baha'u'llah as the manifestation of God in this age and accepting and following His teachings. God is one, man is one, and all regions agree.
It should be all religions, I'm sorry.
All religions agree. Service to the entire humankind. Moral teachings of all faiths are similar, but social teachings are subject to change based on the level of maturity of humans, and for this age, they include, more than ever before, independent search for truth, abolition of all forms of prejudices, superstitions, and unfounded dogmas, harmony of science and religion, equality between genders, races, and nations, working on world peace, and peace begins with oneself, promoting an auxiliary international language, associating with people of all faiths in amity and accord, working for peace and harmony, following of His laws, non-political interference, and remaining nonpartisan while obedient to the government, and obedience to its institutions, such as local spiritual assembly, national spiritual assembly, universal house of justice.
Thank you very much. So this was answered the question, what does it mean to be Baha'i? Any thoughts or questions in this regard? And then we'll go to the main part of the program. So ultimately, if we can become one with the whole universe, can? There's a seat here. Okay, so in the last 4 sessions, we have talked about basic prayers and meditation in the Baha'i faith. Then the moral teachings of the Baha'i faith, which we said is similar in all religions. And the social teachings, which are somewhat different because of the need of the man today. It is today that most people are educated, or can be educated, and can search for themselves. It is today that equality between races and nations and genders is very important, and so on and so forth we talk. So there's the social teaching of the Baha'i faith. And then we talked about the history of the Baha'i faith, that as to how it started and what it is, and the teachings together with the history and the suffering of the founders of the faith, similar to what happened to Moses, what happened to Jesus, and other manifestations of God, to us is the proof of the reality and truth of His manifestation. But last but not least, our friend just left, he'll be probably back in a minute, because prophecies as to how does it all fit together, because Baha'is believe that all religions come from the same source, which is God, and they're all connected. And that connection, the founders of the Baha'i faith, these are from the founders, Abdul Baha and Baha'u'llah, and the guardian of the Baha'i faith. They wrote and explained this as to how they're all connected. That connection is very important. It provides another healing, that there's really no division between Buddha and Baha'u'llah and Jesus and the rest. But we, depending on where we were brought up, we divided ourselves, and then divided ourselves within that religion as well, thinking that we are the ones candidate for heaven. And some people said everybody else goes to hell. So Baha'u'llah, in many ways, his mission is how can we heal that as well. And today's session is that, and I brought a few examples as to first the founders of the Baha'i faith, what they say, and then some people who came from Hindu religion, for example, or from Islam, or from Anglican religion, or from other denominations, Christianity. How did they, after reading the Baha'u'llah's writings, they could think of it in their own terms and see this commonality and this true oneness. And it's all beautiful reading. So one of them, this one is called Christ in Baha'u'llah. I picked this up from Robin Library. George Townsend was the Archbishop, right, of Canterbury, or he had a high position in the church in Ireland. And he, in 1940s, when he truly studied Bible in depth and started studying Baha'u'llah's writing in depth, then he accepted the Baha'i faith, and he wrote this small volume, and it was published, I understand, one day before his death. That he was in a hospital, and they brought it to him, that book. The year was 1957, if I remember. I'll just, one more thing, I introduced you while you were gone. But,
story of my life.
But Greg is a scholar, he's a Harvard graduate, and quite versed in the Baha'i faith, so I thought that today for our last session, we'll have him be with us and enlighten us on prophecies on the Baha'i faith. Well, I have one more thing to say, and I asked that if the friends who are here, if you are kind enough, or you're willing, to write a report of 1 page to 5 pages. And then I have a gift to offer you, which is one of the most beautiful writings of combined writings of Baha'u'llah, that blue book, which is called, what is it? Baha'u'llah's Spiritual Teaching. And you can have it as a gift. If you don't want to write a 1 page or 5 page report, you can give me $5. So one or the other. So your gift is either that, or if you would be more impressed with Gary's speech with regard to prophecies, I have another book, I just have 2 copies of that, which is written actually by an American who studied Old Testament, New Testament, and Baha'u'llah's writings, and wrote this book, Thief in the Night. You know, Jesus had said that I'll come back as thief in the night. So you can have either that or the other. One of the friends here, which means Karen Masters, she already wrote the report. It was so touching, it made me weep a little bit, because she got the real message of what this message is. And because she was the first to do it, I am presenting this shrine of the Bab, who was the co-founder of the Baha'i faith. I'm presenting her with this gift, and told her in the email that the body of Bab, who was shot to death by a firing squad of 750 soldiers. They couldn't shoot him with one, 750. They shot him, and his body was taken to a ditch, and then the followers in the middle of the night recovered it, and it took 50 years until they smuggled it out of Iran to Israel, where the founders of the Baha'i faith were exiled. And there, it took the Baha'is another 50 years to buy the property and to build the shrine in his honor. So, Karen, this is for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much honor. Thank you.
Thank you. And together with that, any of the friends who would like to continue with that book, which is one book, I'll give one copy of the other book, which is called The Proofs of Baha'u'llah's Mission. Because Karen said, I'm going to read all the 100 books. So read this one and that one first, and we'll do the rest. Thank you so much.